For the past few weeks, I've been kind of disappointed with my behavior. Honestly, I felt like the actions didn't back up the goals that I said I wanted to achieve. And the worst feeling for me is when you know there's no progress being made and you know that it's your fault because you're not really giving the effort that you're supposed to be giving. That's what I'm here to change. And for the next 12 weeks, I'll be documenting every single week. If you don't know who I am, let me give a little bit of a backstory. My name is Omar. I've been trading for about 5.5 years. I first started trading Forex, transitioned over to futures, and been trading it for the last 1.5 years. And now I have two main goals when it comes to just the trading space in general. One, of course, is to make a consistent income from this. I want to get payouts and actually make money from trading. And two, I want to build one of the biggest trading journals that helps traders build edge. Right now, it's about 7:20, October 26th, and I am going to already kind of wrote out what I need to get done for the week in order to, get closer to my goals. So right now I'm just going to go about planning it out and putting it in the calendar, blocking the times. So every morning I wake up knowing what I need to do to get better.
Like to taught me that relationships is complicated. Get my before my heart, at least I'm honest, baby. Stuck in trauma, I got scars because my mama, baby. So tired, you been looking for your father lately. And all these shawties telling them get their money up. But once their money up, they just want to...
So pretty much from now until January 17th, which will be 12 weeks from now, there are 3 main goals that I am solely focused on achieving here. So the first one has to do with you guys, my audience. I want to grow this channel to about 1,000 subscribers. And the reason why is because I believe at 1,000, something happens with monetization or something like that. I don't know. I don't really know what the perks of being at 1K is. I just know that's a number that I want to be at by the end of this 12 weeks. The next goal I want to have 3 payouts from prop firms. So I don't really care about size. I just want to know that I'm able to consistently withdraw money from the markets. So 3 payouts is good enough. Don't matter what prop firm is with. I'll figure all that out as you'll see on the calendar in a second. The next thing is refinement. So refinement is my online trading journal. Right now we are at 1 user, if we're counting myself here, but we want to build it to 100 users. So what I've thought of, and I've thought of it for a little while now, was I wanted to give a beta test. So basically a user signs up, they type in a code and they get the first month free. So they get to test it out. However, during that first month, they essentially have to give me feedback. So this helps me. It's a win-win, literally. One, I get more users, and then those users start to give me feedback on how I can improve the journal. After, that first month is up, they can decide if they want to stick around, if they want to continue using it. And then it'll charge, I think, a subscription model afterwards, or they can just cancel. Doesn't matter. But they get to try that first month for free. And then also, not only they get to try it out, so win on their part, but they give me feedback so I make my platform better. Why am I doing this? A while back ago, I read a book called The 12-Week Year. It's a really good book. If you haven't read it already, you should definitely read it. However, in one of the main, idea of the book is instead of stretching out your goals to a year, like most people do with these New Year's resolutions, just make it a quarter. Well, not a quarter, but 12 weeks. So you can start any time, but you just want your timeline to be 12 weeks. These are 12 weeks is short enough to put stress on your goals. And also it kind of ties back to the principle that comes from 10x is easier than 2x. So Benjamin Hardy talks about how essentially if you were to cut down the time frame from you to a goal that you see pretty much impossible, you would have to completely change as a person and you would have to go about it a completely different route. So the same principles from that kind of applies to the 12-week year as well too. You're setting goals that are a little bit of a stretch for you, but that if you were to achieve during this 12-week period, you would see this 12-week period as a pretty good one, as a successful one, if you want to say. But it doesn't mean if you don't achieve it, you see it as a bad one either. So this is what I'm focused on for the next 12 weeks because honestly, I just know I am not where I need to be and something has changed. And I have to realize that there are clear signs that I know of. If I just focus on changing them, it will do me a great service. So right now, I've just finished planning out my week. Everything that you see on my calendar that is in red is built for the goal for the YouTube channel. Everything that is in orange is built for the goal for refinement, which is 100 beta test 25 redemptions. And everything in purple is built towards the goal of 3 payouts. So with that being said, I'm going to go run and grab some breakfast and we'll get started with the day.
I might 2 steps to the right, to the right, to the left. I got real.
It's 9:46 a.m. About to get started working on short videos. So I have an idea here. I'm planning to make shorts to kind of market refinement, because the biggest problem with refinement that I believe, and I talked about it a little bit in the last video, was I think that not enough people know about it. So I need to really ramp up on my marketing here. So I decided, I looked on Instagram, looked on YouTube Shorts, kind of looking at my own data here too as well too. I use a lot there, but I realized, Shorts is really powerful and it's a really good way of marketing. And then if I combine it with series, right? So if you watch Instagram Reels, there's a lot of series content out there where people do series, like especially in the futures industry. Hey, day one of getting payout. And I've tried this my own self. But instead of like documenting the journey as series, I do series where I go, okay, cool. Day one of me telling you one feature of refinement until you use code BETATEST25. And then I just continue doing that. So right now, what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to write out a script, an outline for each of these videos, and then hopefully scour through refinement and then come up with a few ideas that I can use for these series videos. The number 25 keeps popping in my head, so I'm gonna try and aim for 25. Wish me luck.
Turning practice to perfection took some trying. Who'd have thought that I'd get my next blessing from some lines? I turned this rap shit into my profession and defied all they projections. No ceiling on what's manifesting in my mind, cause I get stronger when the pressure.
Oh God, sorry. 7:07, and we played basketball. I just got back from basketball probably like about an hour, 2 hours ago. And right now I'm just reviewing some of these prop firm accounts. So the goal is to get 3 payouts. Doesn't matter the amount, but I just want to get them as fast as humanly possible. I've been looking at some of the sizes of the accounts that I should go with. I was thinking about maybe like 25K accounts, because just it's a 1-on-1 on each side. All right, so just purchased my eval with my funded futures. I didn't really talk too much about like my tactics and what I plan to go about reaching this goal of 3 payouts, but I do have it written back there. All the scribble that you see on that board. I did take time to kind of build together a little bit of a strategy to help me reach this goal. But I feel like I should talk about this a little bit later on in the week, probably when I have a little bit more time to sit down and discuss it. This series is really supposed to capture the real, the authentic. And I gotta say, I feel so not overwhelmed, but like, I feel like I'm in a different league when it comes to just like recording content. So Sunday night, 7:50 p.m. We are pretty much done for the day. I'm just going to take the footage that I have recorded for the day, try and get it neatly sorted in my drive, and get ready for tomorrow. Because tomorrow will be the first day trading towards getting a payout, I should say, rather than trying to experiment with style.
Hey. Emotional trauma with a prima donna, gasping when she see the commas, laughing to conceal the monsters. I feel like Kanye when he lost his Donda, when my father left me.
Good morning. Today is October 27th, 7:53. Just kind of woke up. Morning, my wrist felt really painful this morning when I woke up from playing basketball. Also my back. I don't know if it's just old age or like something I'm doing wrong. So I decided to skip the gym session today. Relax, okay? We're going to get it back sometime this week. But this morning, I just woke up. The goal for this morning right now, and let's kind of talk about it. So with my shorts, right? Because shorts has been a really good way to grow my channel. My documentary like shorts where I'm giving an update on my progress, honestly, I believe has been the main thing that grew my channel to about 400 subscribers. The videos haven't been doing too well. So here, I was looking at why my shorts were doing well, and I seen that like the shorts that really outperformed others wasn't like your basic word hook, because everybody in content creation knows when you're creating shorts, reels, you're using 5 of the same hooks. You're either using a contrarian hook, a question hook, a self-reflection hook, and then maybe like it's contrarian, question, personal story, because I do have to start recording today. I have to record one of the series marketing for refinement, and then one for myself. Good thing is we already wrote the script for about 6 of them. I was looking right here. It's about 6 of them. So I already know what I need to say for the series marketing for refinement, and the progress update on the other side of the series, or documentary side of the series of the 12-week journey, I already know what I need to say for that, right? I'm giving updates on my progress so far. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and knock this out, and yeah, we'll get back into it.
I just been keeping my poise, made by the million, but still unemployed. They text me about green, but not on Android. She not my shawty, she filling the void. I make the sounds that cut through the noise. He think he...
All right, so 3 minutes till market opens. I would want to say first day working towards the goal of getting our 3 payouts. So I'm very excited. Increased risk today, so this is one thing that I have to keep in mind. But I'm gonna, for some odd reason, I feel normal. I don't feel as nervous as I used to before. When increasing risk, I feel pretty normal about it. I feel pretty good. I'm just gonna, remember to trade smart and just walk away when I know I should be walking away. So today I see volatilities went down. We don't really have any major news. So this probably means most likely we're going to be reverting around some sort of mean. If I can figure out what the mean is before everyone else can, I can secure myself and have myself a pretty good day. But also it depends on how we open as well too. If we open up pretty aggressively, right, then we can potentially see some expansion on the day. So I just have to pay attention to how we open these first 5-minute candles, of course, and just play the day how it's playing out. Don't try and jump the gun. Don't try and beat it. Just join it. Just be with it. Day 1 is in the books, and not a starting result that we want, but it's all good. I did really well today for the most part, managing my losses. I will say though, I got caught up in, there was a few things that I was seeing and I was like, okay, maybe we get that breakout here, but we just never did. So let me go over the film really quickly. And it's like 9:51, so just end, or 9:57. But let me go over the film really quickly. So today we ended off the day negative $600. All right, hear me out. Of course, this is normal because we have increased the risk we doubled our risk from what it usually was. So this would be like, instead of a negative $600 day, it's a negative instead of a negative $300 day, it's a negative $600 day. I'm not too worried about that. The one thing I just want to make sure, sure this stays around 1.3 and our losses doesn't exceed 320. Because once our losses starts to exceed 320, that's when we start to kind of have a little bit of trouble. Today, I just read the market wrong for the most part. The first trade that I take was a really, really good trade, and I'll show you it here. And I think I just got caught up in the idea afterwards. So understanding this trade right here that I took, the idea was that this right here, or the 1 standard deviation, was the mean point. I remember I said a little bit earlier before the session that if today I can figure out what the mean was, I can trade around it and I can have a really solid day. And that's the first trade. I kind of figured out, okay, cool. I think this is going to be the mean point, not VWAP, but right here. And then also point of control. Point of control may lay somewhere in the middle of this range right here. So as this trade played out, we got the move. As soon as we hit 10, took partials, move stops break even, and then we got that second order filled. Now the next thing is just every trade after that, right? I started predicting the breakout. So I'm like, okay, cool. I see strong movement here in this candle. We moved up. Now I'm looking for a nice little area to get an entry to follow the continuation of the momentum. I get an entry, but we don't get the momentum. Instead, we start reversing. And looking at it, all right, you look at the candles, okay. Second, previous candle, pretty strong follow-up. CVD, pretty strong follow-up, right? We should at least, continue to make new highs. But we just don't get that, right? And we start to mean revert. So first time, cool, mean revert, take out for 10 points. And then every trade after that was just me trying to predict this breakout in conditions where I originally was right about. This 1 standard deviation is that mean that we are reverting to. Again, saw this candle. Okay, cool. I'm trying to see we get strong continuation. I want strength into the high. We got a little bit of strength into the high, but it just didn't follow through after tapping into it. We was just reverting around this area. Same thing with this trade. Same thing. So it was all right, cool. At that point, I started to feel all right, cool. Now's a really good time to walk away. I took three losses back to back. Now I'm getting into that territory where I'm thinking about, I need to get this money back. That's cool. Let's just walk away. Let's come back another day when we're in a better headspace to trade. We just read the markets wrong today. That's fine. That's normal. It happens to the best of us, right? But it's all about I think just knowing when to walk away, right? Because okay, cool. This day could have went easily negative 1K. right? Just understanding like, all right, we don't need to make it all back today. We had a wrong read on the market. We originally had a right read, but then we switched our read because of what we were seeing. And fair, right? Because usually when you see this type of like movement on the CVD, speaking from my area, and the volume is increasing, I'm expecting us to break out. It's just not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And I got the timing wrong. So it's cool. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll perform a little bit better, hopefully. Right now, I'm about to just go ahead, relax, put the camera down, and get ready for work. And then if there's anything that I need to catch up on, I'll see you guys tonight. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow.